I knew it was too good to be true. I've got to put this pipe in first before I can do the carburetors. Fortunately, I haven't done them up. Bollocks. So now I'm going to make this pipe. The pipe has arrived. It's there. And I have ordered a spring to help bend it, so that may shoot me in the foot today. So then we'll move on to something else. But let's open up the package and see what the pipe is like. Okay, as always, please accept my apologies for my disgusting bench. I don't normally work like this, but I've got so many things going on at once. You can see I've got the carburetor stuff there. Yeah, then I realised I've got to do this pipe. So this is the pipe I've ordered. It is a 3/8. I'm not sure of the content, but I think I want to say steel and just kind of anodized in something. It's very hard to bend, but in the right form, the 3/8, you can see the bends I get are bloody good. I've cut off the pipe now to the same length as this. Now what I've got to do is cut this off. Actually, I'll probably cut it off here and get this nut off, because I need this nut. The olives I use, they're from my local Lowe's. They're a 3/8 compression. Sorry, no, what do you call them? Sleeves. The olives, yes, the sleeves. One thing I've done, and you don't need to do it on this, but I do it, is I've got a deburring tool, and you just deburr inside there. Do you need to do it? No, of course not, because there's only air going through it. But I like to do that. And then you've got, of course, your pipe cutter for cutting this off and cutting this off. Now my plan is to just guesstimate a length with a tape measure. So I'm guessing, and cut it so that it's easier to handle. I don't want to be handling this. As I mentioned before, I've also got the, what's that doing there? The fuel line here. Once I've finished the project, if anybody needs some of this stuff, give me a shout. You got my email address, but just in case, gstargarage@gmail.com. That's star with 2 R's. And I'm sure we can come to an arrangement of a few bucks, nothing much, and the postage. Of course, depending on where you live. Should it be my friend up in Scotland, then sorry, that's gonna cost you. But no, you can get it cheaper in the foreign countries. But if you're in America, it wouldn't be too expensive to ship this. I mean, once I've cut off what I want, if you wanted the whole reel, then fine. I'll look at what I paid for it, deduct a bloody great lump of money, and send you this, because I hate to see it wasted, and I'm hardly ever likely to use it. Same with the fuel line. I will be using a bit more of the fuel line than I am of this 3/8, purely because I've got a fair bit to do with the fuel line. So there may not be much of that left, but there certainly will be of this, should you wish to make your own one of these and not have a piece of shit that looks like mine. Alright, let me get on and try and figure out how the hell I'm going to do this. The piece of pipe is made. Now, this may not look like yours. In fact, I very much doubt it does. And it looks like a simple piece, doesn't it? Well, it is, but trying to get it to position exactly is the biggest pain in the ass. Obviously, you have to make sure that thread goes in nice and easy. Oh, and then it died. And getting this angle right here and here, which I succeeded. It took a while, I must admit. Now I've got to find a way of attaching it. I'm probably just going to make up a bracket to go on this end. The original ones held the water pipe and this, but this isn't in the same position, purely because I made it. But it is very close to one of the balance pipes on the underside of the manifold. Excuse me. And what I shall do is make up a bracket that is like 2 pieces of metal with a nut and bolt in the middle holding it together, and line it with rubber so that we don't get any nasty vibration noises. And I'll show you that when it's made. Well, here's the clamp halfway through its stages. I've got the rubber on there now, and I've stuck it down with this stuff, goop. Very good shit, that. I could have used super glue, I guess, but that sets brittle, whereas this allows a little elasticity. I have used, as can be seen, a riv nut there, and my main reason for doing that is it gives it more thickness and strength, of course, because this is aluminium and that is a steel composite of some description. This bracket, or this piece being flat, will allow it to tilt backwards and forwards for the two different thickness pipes. And the only reason I put the rubber on there is to stop the little rattle that may occur. Okay, let's move on to something else. Well, that's the pipe there. That, in fact, I could put that pipe in. Why don't I put that pipe in? Well, went down to my local Ace Hardware, found the spring I needed. Correct length, plated, absolutely perfect, for the princely sum of $4.19. Can't beat that. Yes, and believe it or not, this is one of my garage dogs. He likes it out here. Guess he feels safe. My other garage dog is hiding in the laundry room. Well, there it is, bracket in place, holding it quite firmly. That's not going anywhere. Rubber pipe, obviously, because the engine's going to move. I know the clamp is not the most pretty thing, but I'm not worried with it down there. Later on in its life, if it annoys me, I will deal with it. Boy, will I deal with it. The wetness down there, don't worry, that's because I sprayed WD-40 all over the end of that pipe to get the rubber pipe on. The rubber pipe I had to drill out fractionally so that I could get it over that. That is now done. You have to be careful when you're doing this. Make sure you give yourself, you know, the correct spacing here, bearing in mind there's a battery going here and a carburetor going here, so you have to make sure that you get it in the right place. Oh, and thank you, I think it was Craig said that this is what did he say it was something to do with? An overrun valve or something like that. Anyway, yes, I will not be needing it. I'm going to tighten that nut up though. I could leave it as a bare stud, but I'm not going to, because I want it to look pretty. So I'm just going to tighten that nut up before I put the carburetors on. And it's always nice to have your nuts nice and tight. Talking of that, silly but sensible, I was listening to or watching, what's his name? Church House Classics. Now he deals in Land Rovers, Range Rovers, Triumph Stags mainly, and he gave up the project manager's life and started up his own business doing just those things, and bloody good for him. But one thing he mentioned, which is something that I do, and just a suggestion for you guys, when you put a nut on something, tighten it up, even if you're going to have to take it off later, because Sod's Law dictates that if you don't, you won't go back to it later, and then you're going to have loose nuts, and loose nuts cost lives. Sorry, can't help myself, stupid ass. But yeah, it's just a good practice to get into. Now, and this one is tight, actually. I don't think I can undo that. No, it is tight, but it's not cranked down, and I'm going to crank it down so that it definitely can't come off. Not that that one will matter, of course. But I have made notes, and so I'm kind of going to contradict myself here a bit. I have loosened all the suspension nuts because of all the bushes, and I wanted to get all the weight on the vehicle. But I have a file with notes in it, you know, before you do anything, try driving this, do these things. And one of them is go round and tighten up the suspension nuts. That I won't be doing until I've pushed it in and out the garage a few times and hopefully, you know, things have settled. And you just got to be very careful. I mean, I'm not going to be driving it like that. I would not dare do that, because that would just be plain stupid. Because knowing my luck, a bloody nut would come off and the suspension would collapse. Right, I think I can now put the carburetors on once I've tightened that nut. What do you think? You're meant to tell me. Oh, that screws awfully close to the... Oh, I've got to see when it's in the... Yeah, no, because that would twist more. It's all right, I was just looking at this clip here, and it's very close to the pipe, and it'll... Not that it'll wear it out, but it'll make a rattly noise, and I don't like rattly noises. And there's gonna be some, I know that. I'm wondering if I should move that clip. You see, this is going to change where this goes, so I don't think I'll need to. I'll check it once this is all connected. Alright, let's get the carburetors back on and in position. It's an in position, I know. Okay, the carbs are on, just loosely. But my heart just sank. I have seen something that is annoying, and I don't know how bad it's going to be. And you're actually staring at it. It's this gap here. I have ordered, in fact I have, banjo filters to go on there. I don't know if they're going to fit. It'll fit over here, that's fine. That's not going to be a problem on this side. Plenty of room. However, don't know about this side. Of course, there's only one way to find out, and that's to go and get one. Oh well, let's do it. No way, Jose. There's no way that in hell that's going to fit in there. Choices. Very limited choices. The only thing I can think... Move the filter bowl, fuel bowl. I can't move it far. And I have to think, is it a problem if I put it below the carburetors? Can't think that would make any difference. However... I've made the pipe as well. That means I'd have to remake that fucking pipe again. Maybe if I just move it. If I move it here. Okay, that might... That is... Shit, that's going to be the solution, isn't it? Move it over to here. Blank off the original holes. That way this pipe, I could probably still use it, just put a sharper bend in it, down low, and then with the bowl over here, still going to be a fucking tight fit. And I don't want the filter bashing into the bowl. But what choices do I have? Crap. And I guess what I'm going to have to do is to take the filter bowl off, fuel bowl, put the air filter on and see what room I've got here. I have no choice, I have to move the fuel filter. I don't fucking want to, but I have no choice. If I put that bracket on the other way up, lift it up, the fuel filter, as long as I don't protrude, hey, that's a possibility, isn't it? Take this bracket, turn it the other way up so it's up here. Okay, that's for tomorrow, that's not for today. That's my little conundrum. Never fucking rains, but it falls. Yeah. So two choices. One, move it over to here. Two, flip this bracket. And that lifts up the filter. Which means I'd have to try and stretch that somehow. Which, yeah, I could do that. It'll just, yeah, I'll have to move it down below so that I can gain that extra height. And if not, I'll just have to make up a new pipe. I've got, oh, hello. Oh, there's a rattle there that I've got to deal with. I wonder what's causing that. Oh, I bet it's where it's going past the, yeah, it's where it's going past the chassis down there. And that's something that will have to be dealt with anyway. Okay, so let's get that done tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow and let you know what happened.